Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to the video lecture number 6. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss a new concept, that is the zero order reaction and its integrated expression. Know that for the very next 1 to 2 more videos we are going to discuss, including these videos are undergoing on your under your long questions. So very careful and do practice these video lectures so that you can do a couple of long questions on your exams, and also you can attend several problems in your competitive examinations by the formula that we are going to derive in these video lectures. Clear? So without doing late, as always, let's get started. So the first thing is integrated expression for zero order reaction. So before going to zero order reaction, know that I have already told you about order of reactions. What are order of reactions? What are their types? And among the types, zero order reaction is one of them. So in order to discuss these long questions, so let us move one by one steps, and first of all, now let us see the definition. Zero order reactions. So definition is zero order reactions are those in which the reaction rate is not affected by change in concentration of one or more of the reactants. So know that zero order reactions are those in which the reaction concentration, the amount of reactants, are not affected by the change in concentration of any one of the reactant or product. Clear? If there is any change in the concentration of any one of the reactant or product, then the reaction rate will not be affected. Clear? Got my point? Very good. Moving on to the next point, that is just a minute. In such reactions, that means in zero order reactions, the rate may be determined by some other limiting factors, such as the amount of catalyst used or the intensity of light absorbed by the photochemical reactions. So in case of zero order reaction, since the concentration is not changed, hence the rate may be determined by some other factors. We have already learnt that there are several factors like your surface area, nature of reactant, that is your particle size, that is your and there are several other factors as well, catalyst, that affects the rate of a chemical reactions. And among them, since the concentration is not changed in case of zero order reaction, hence the rate of reaction may be determined by some other factors like your catalyst used, the amount of catalyst used, or the intensity of light absorbed in a photochemical reaction. So from these factors we can determine the order of reaction, zero order reaction. Clear? So consider a general expression. Consider a zero order reaction. A gives rise to B. That means the reactant A gives rise to product P. The rate of reaction is given by, since the reaction is a zero order reaction, hence the rate will be independent of the nature of the concentration of reactant. Hence rate is equal to minus dA by dt. This is the expression for instantaneous rate of reaction, minus dA by dt, which is directly proportional to A to the power 0, concentration of reactant to the power 0. If we remove the proportionality sign, then we have to multiply a proportionality constant, which is k0 into A to the power 0. Anything to the power 0 is equal to 1, so is equal to k0, where k0 is the rate constant for zero order reaction. Got my point? Very good. Now from this expression we can have we can have minus dA. From this expression we can have minus dA is equal to k0 into dt. We can multiply dt over here. Clear? Now integrating both sides, we have taking integrations, minus negative, taking negative sign outside the integration, we have minus integration of dA, d concentration of A. Concentration varies from A0 to A, initial to final. That means this is definite integral. Clear? Is equal to k0, time varies from t0, initial time t0 to time t at time t dt, at time ddt. So now here derivative and integration cancels with each other, and we have the final expression as minus A concentration minus A0 concentration is equal to k0 into final concentration minus initial concentration, t minus t0, final minus initial. Always subtract, in case of definite integral, always subtract the final change from initial change. Clear? Sorry, initial change from final change. So the expression could be written as k0t is equal to a0 minus a0 minus a. We can take the we can multiply the negative sign over here. Clear? So and the final expression would be k0 is equal to 1 by t into a0 minus a concentration minus a concentration. So now this is the equation 3, and the equation 3 is the expression for zero order, integrated expression for zero order reaction. I have already written over here. Equation 3 is called the expression for zero order reaction. Equation 3 is called the integrated expression for zero order reaction. So this is the expression for zero order reaction. And now after deriving the expression for zero order reaction, we have to derive the expression for half-life period. So before going to half-life period, so we have to know what is the half-life period and how it is derived for different types of rate of reactions. I will definitely tell you about the nth order reaction, how can we determine the half-life period for nth order reaction. But before going to that, let us see how to derive the half-life period for zero order reaction. So know that the definition for half-life period is always same. That is, it is the time required for the reaction to be half completed. It is the time required for the reaction to be half completed. That means it is the time required for the reactant to be consumed to its half of its concentration, initial concentration. So the reactant needs to be consumed in order to form the product. So the amount of reactant and the time required to consume the amount of reactant to its half is known as your half-life period, or we can write it as, it is defined as the time required for the reaction to be half completed and is denoted by T half. Very simple definition. The reactant needs to be consumed to its half concentration. Whatever the concentration is, if it is consumed to its half, if the concentration of reactant reduced to its half, then it is known as your half-life period. Clear? Thus, at a half-life period, at a time t is equal to t half, I have not written here, at t is equal to t half, a concentration, that means final concentration, will be changed, will be reduced to the initial concentration by 2. That means the final concentration will decrease to half of its initial concentration. Clear? And substituting this value in equation 3, know that, remind the equation 3, k0 is equal to 1 by t into a0 minus a concentration. So we can write it as k0 is equal to 1 by t. In place of 1 by t, we can write it as 1 by t half. So 1 by t half into a0 minus a concentration. In place of a concentration, we can write it as a0 by 2, and the final expression will found to be t half is equal to k0 t half is equal to k0 into 2a0 minus a0 by 2. Taking LCM, we have this expression. You can write it as it is done in this expression. So T half is equal to 1 by K0 into A0 by 2. So this is the expression for half life period for zero order reaction. So in this case, see, the half life period is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. So since half life period is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant, hence if we put a graph between half life period and initial concentration, then we could have a graph that is a straight line that will be a straight line that passes through origin. Clear? So therefore half life period is directly proportional to the initial concentration of zero order reaction. So this is a single mark question. Half life period for zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration, inversely proportional to initial concentration, independent of initial concentration, or none of these. So it is directly proportional to the initial concentration of reactants. So now finally, if we plot a graph between half life period and initial concentration, a straight line will be obtained which will passes through the origin. Clear? Got my point? Which will pass through the origin. So now the nature of the curve will be like this. If half life period is taken in y-axis, and initial concentration is taken in x-axis, or whatever, you can take a0 over here also, and T half over here, and the nature of the curve will be a straight line that passes through origin, whose slope will be 1 by 2k0. So this is all about for today's video lecture. Hope you people enjoy this video lecture. Do like this video lecture, share this video lecture, and do practice this video lecture. Thank you. God bless you all.